Hello Internet, welcome back to our Fire series. Last episode, I believe we raided a liquor store. Oh, we have tons of things in our inventory. Let's clear out our inventory. We got multiple kegs of alcohol. It might have been a bar because I think most of the kegs are beer, which is like something you would expect more from a bar than a liquor store. Let's go ahead and get that rotten. Let's search and see if we have any other rotten foods and drinks and get them out of here. Oh, protein powder triggers on rot. I thought it rotted, which would have been silly. Can you make tomato seed? We can't convert our tomato into seeds. It may be because it's rotten, or it may be because we don't have the recipe for it. Either way, no, don't drop the alcohol and such. Either way, we get those out of here. We don't really need the cockroach. Okay, we don't really need the bottle from the mayonnaise, so I don't think that that's a big deal. Drop this alcohol as well. I don't really have anything on the agenda for today in what to do in the game. I do have talking points because, yeah, I wanted to come in with some commentary. I did see something in editing that I thought, oh, we should go there. That's something we can make a priority. But I have since forgotten what and where that was. So now, I don't really have an idea of where to go. None of this stuff. I mean, the hardware stores are mostly what we would be. That's a post office. Mostly would be nice. I actually saw a wood saw in my house in real life, and it made me mad that I can't make the kit. Again, it made me think of how I can't make the repair kit without a wood saw. Because I have one in my real house. Why can't I just... Okay. Why... Oh, that's right. The drop bug. That's why these things are not dropping. So let's go ahead and do advanced inventory. And get this... It's not in my inventory anymore? Did it drop all of them? Okay, so I'm on an old version which still has the drop bug. Mostly because there were other bugs that I didn't want to interact with. So that may be fixed for you, but not for me. So... Cooking is 2, fab is 5. So we can't actually make a lot of seeds. I was thinking, you know, we had all this cabbage and all these vegetables that we were eating over the last couple of weeks. Like here we have lettuce. I thought we could convert that into like lettuce seeds, but I really don't know how. Where in lettuce there is a seed, so. But also we just don't have those recipes, it looks like. Unfortunately, wheat seeds, oat seeds, and barley seeds. I could swear that there was like so many more seeds you could make and that they were relatively low skill requirement. Where food seeds? Yeah, only 3 seeds. Connected to survival, which is 1. Our survival is currently 1. It may be that we just need higher survival. I mean, I really don't have anywhere to go. We have all this food. We can just read our survival book, which would be through the lens, I guess. So we can go ahead and read this. Oh, it's a new week for me. Sunday. Looks like we're going to war with Iran, which is not great. I don't want to talk about well, I mean, I don't love talking about politics, but it's a relevant thing. You know, it seems like we're probably going to war with Iran, and it feels not good because it seems like we still have ketchup. Yeah, let's make deluxe hot dogs. Use the ketchup. Looks like our government decided to... oh, great. We failed. We failed to boil a hot dog, basically. So that's always exciting. Looks like our government decided kind of willy-nilly that, hey, we're going to go bomb a member of another country's government. Like, whether he was a giant gaping anus or not, it doesn't matter. That's someone else's government, which is like the definition of an act of war, which I don't love that. And then the whole international community is like, hey, we don't like Iran much either, but like you can't just go around bombing people. And the Trump administration is like, oh, we had intel. It's okay, we had intel. And they're like, okay, I just need you to share that with me. Like, you can redact what you need to redact, but I need to be on your side in this. This is kind of a big deal. And he's like, nah, you know, we're not going to share that information. I turned my mic up. Sorry, I was probably a little low. It's like, dude, just give them something so that they can be on our side. I'm so tired of. So when Trump was elected, I'm a very middle ground person. I really wanted to believe in Trump. I did not vote for Trump. I would not vote for Trump. But once he was the president, it's like, well, he's the president. I kind of want to be on board with who my president is. So I was like, all right, just he's not who you necessarily. I mean, I didn't love Hillary Clinton either, but he's not really who I would have elected president. But okay, you roll with it. This is the situation. You just live with it. You try to make the best of it. And then for the last several years, it's just been nonstop disappointments. Like when he was elected, I was like, all right, he got elected. Obviously, America, pushed for this and got him elected. So I want to believe in him. And so it's like, okay. And then he started attacking people on Twitter. It's like, all right, man, you're the president. Maybe you should just delete your Twitter account because, like, you obviously can't be trusted with a Twitter account because you're just a troll. It seems like you go out of your way to just be really aggressively negative to people. It's like, that's not really what a president should be. Like, even if you disagree with someone, there's a certain modicum of respect that I have expectations that my president would be courteous, and I've subsequently over the last several years seen him insult people in a way that felt racist. I've seen him insult people in ways that felt sexist. I've seen him insult men and women who are dead. I have seen him call out widowers and widows and mock people, and it makes me sick, frankly. Like, I've always tried to be really hard the middle ground because I don't like taking sides in anything. I'm a very neutral individual. But he's just being such a dick to people on Twitter. And then it was like, oh, well, okay, he wants to get the wall built and they're not funding him. So, okay, well, he threw a tantrum and now, of course, we lose the bread, the one material that we need in order to craft this. Really so tired of the kind of broken crafting. I understand why they made it so you can't disassemble partial crafts, but like it's super, super frustrating to constantly run into that issue, especially on something like a campfire hot dog. It says we have a cooking skill of 2 of 0. So why am I failing? No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong hot dog. Look at the other hot dog. We must be failing due to cooked hot dog. Why am I failing something? It's one of those things. It's like when you get a dice roll in D&D and you're like, I want to talk to the pretty girl at the bar. I'm going to roll my charisma check. And they're like, oh, you got a 1. So you walk over and fart in her face. And it's like, yeah, but you wouldn't actually do that. And it's kind of like that with the cooking thing. It's like, I got a bad roll. And so I failed to I failed to boil a hot dog, put it in some bread and squirt ketchup on it. That's not something someone fails. I do feel like there should be a flag. There probably is a flag, like Easy Craft, that you can never fail that item. That probably exists. So let's make some not great hot dogs, because I'm a little worried about our low calorie count. Let's go ahead and eat this. Sounds like my family just got home. And so he didn't get money for his wall. So he was like, I'm just going to shut down the government, because screw those hundreds of thousands of Americans who derive their paycheck from working for the government. And it was like, oh, that's not a great choice, and I wasn't on board for that. And it's just been a series of those kind of things. And I feel the same way about the Iran situation. I feel like, yes, that guy was not a good guy. Yes, Iran has been doing some things that are highly questionable and they need to be put in their place. I don't think bombing a member of their government was the right choice there. In fact, I feel like that's a terrible choice. And I just want evidence like that was a good decision. Like, if you just share, you don't have to share your intel with like America, but you should share it with the foreign leaders so that they can be on our side for once. Because everyone is very nervous about Trump being Trump. And again, it's not really a decision that he probably he probably did personally make the decision, but it probably was based on intel and based on the influence of his advisors. But also, like, you kind of need people to be on your side. You're not exactly the most liked president in U.S. history. You kind of need to sway people in your favor, And I remember like 9 months ago talking, I think it was in my Dead Rising series, I specifically talked about tension with Iran ratcheting up and how I felt like we were heading towards war, but I mean, obviously I don't want to go to war. And I think, made a joke where I was like, oh, but no one's going to declare war. It's not an election year. And now, literally like 3 days into the election year, they're on the brink of war. And it's like, oh, God, I hope I was wrong. I hope this is not somehow a ploy. Actually, we want the outdoor survival kit. Give me outdoor survival guide. Don't step in the fire. So super nervous about that. But let's not, why am I talking about this? Let's not talk politics. Sorry, it's something I'm watching very closely. I'm a big fan of politics. We've talked about it numerous times on the channel before. Big fan of politics. Big fan of keeping up with world events. I was disjointed from humanity for a long time. I was kind of out of the loop, and now that I'm back, more or less, I want to be able to. We don't want to use all of our water for this. Oh, it's a campfire. It doesn't use water. Now that I'm back more in society, I feel like I need to be a part of that, and watching the news and being up to date on current events is part of that. I want to be involved in the world around me. So like, I think about this stuff, and I probably shouldn't talk about it. People don't want to hear that from a YouTuber. It's 8 a.m. We probably ought to go do some looting of some sort. I feel like the turret was right here. It was on the other side of the pond, right? Because we looked across the pond. No, we were in a house when we looked out, so it must be in this area. Which is a bummer, because those would probably be the easiest houses to access. I guess we can head down here. What do we got here? Empty residential lot, the private park. Can probably mark this stuff as explored. There's the forge and kiln. I gotta believe we hit this house when we were down here. Pharmacy we never checked out. We were right next door at the liquor store. Do we still have lockpicks? We do. Yeah, I think we'll head over to the pharmacy. We don't necessarily need pharmacy stuff. Oh, but it's 8 a.m. Yeah, okay, so it's daylight. What am I thinking? We may not even be able to go all the way over there. Let's check the rose bushes just to see any other bodies. What is this? Pulp. It just doesn't have the blood spatter anymore. It must have rained. Okay, no bodies. No bodies, no bodies. Stop. Like no whammies. Do you get? Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about today is entitlement. Because guess what, Internet? You're getting on my nerves a little bit. I want to be real clear right off the bat. Most of my viewers are great. And I don't really have a problem. You're adorable. What are you? It is a bobcat. You're so cute. Look at him. Little bobcat. Why do you have horrifying green eyes, though? Okay. So that should leave us alone unless it's really hungry. Cockroaches, brainless zombie cop. Yeah, there was a little bit of a horde to the left of this building last time we were down there. There's the cop. We did clear a bunch of them out. We are wielding our quarterstaff. I don't hate the density I'm seeing. It's weird, like, it seems like when I don't expect it, there are just tons and tons of zombies. But every time I'm expecting it, like pushing up into the road here, you would think there'd be more zombies than there are. Like, there's what, 5 zombies? That's a very small number. So I want to be real clear. Most of my viewers are great, and I love you. And I appreciate that you're here, because, like, you don't have to be here. You choose to be here. You choose to partake in my content. You choose to leave comments, and mostly those comments. I saw something behind us. It's a fat zombie. We should be able to take these two no problem, and we can retreat to the liquor store if things get out of hand, because we know that's largely a clear area. You hear footsteps. Yes. So for the most part, you guys are great. And gals. I assume there are gals. YouTube says, last I checked, it said it was 100% male viewership. But, that's probably just people don't report their ages. Their gender, and location are the 3 that YouTube give you information about. So yeah, but anyway, most of you are great. I appreciate that you're here. I appreciate that you watch the content. It's nice to have content and see people. My last Cataclysm video had something like 36 views, which is not a lot, but for me it's pretty good. Okay, we are starting to see several more, and we're starting to run out of stamina. So we're gonna rest after this combat, and hopefully no more. Okay. And yeah, I had like 3.5 hours of watch time, which means a pretty good chunk of those people, you know, probably like 5 or 6 of those people watched the entire video, which is like, is nice, you know. It's not incredible numbers or anything, but for me it's pretty good. And I've been noticing an upward trend lately in the amount of watch time that I get. You had to hit my backpack, huh? Stamina's doing okay, but there was a large group down there. Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to continue letting them trickle to us, and if we get scared, we'll run inside, close the door, and try to rest for a few... In fact, let's back up, just see if we can rest to get our stamina back. Probably more in the alley. No? Okay. So most of you are great, and most of the comments I get are like, hey, hang in there, you know, because I talk about my depression a lot, and people are like, oh, I've been in that situation as well, or... man, I hate that thing you talked about hating, you know, like it's mostly supportive stuff. But lately, I've been getting a lot of toxicity on my channel. Specifically, people cursing at me and calling me nasty names in the comments, which is something you hear about on YouTube all the time. Like, you know, it's like it's a well-known thing. One, it's the internet, which is full of trolls and people who they just say whatever they want because they don't think of you as a real person. You're just a computer screen. But I never really had those kind of comments before, and now I'm kind of getting a lot of them. In addition to that, I've been getting some dislikes on some of my videos, and you know, and mostly that's fine. If you don't like something and you hit the dislike button, that's fine. You know, it does negatively impact the channel. Videos with dislikes are less likely to show up in the YouTube search algorithms and stuff. So it's like, you are kind of hurting me, you know, like literally hurting the channel when you do that. I don't think most people understand that though. So I think most people just see like, I didn't like this, so I'm going to click the dislike button. But on a small channel like mine, that can really make the difference between whether I show up. Like if you search for Cataclysm on... No. Okay. I don't know where the cockroach is. If you search for like Cataclysm Let's Play 2019 and you sort by most recent videos, I put one up every day. I still don't show up in the list, and I don't really know why that is. But so like it's hard for me to get views and stuff, and disliking the video kind of is real bad for me. But I don't think most people understand that, so I don't take that particularly personally. There's going to be an alarm on the pharmacy, so that's not great. I don't think they can break out there, but we're going to let these other ones come over here. And, you know, aggressively negative, some of the comments. Some of the comments are like, I mean, I don't even want to say, they're really aggressively negative, like you should hurt yourself, and calling me a bunch of names and things. Kind of weird that there's a bunch of zombies in the pharmacy. I guess people would go to pharmacies in the zombie apocalypse for medicine and whatnot, but I just don't really know why you would take your dog and jogging partner to go to the pharmacy. But anyway, we're going to clear these out at some point. We do have a pretty big group there approaching from the southeast, so I think we'll back up again, and if we need to, we will retreat. Is this vehicle functional? Because that will determine whether or not I go engage them. There's no tank on it. We can throw a tank on it if we had to. No battery as well. So not really a vehicle I'm super interested in. So we're going to let them hopefully trickle one at a time over here, and we'll deal with them. And yeah, I wanted to explain something. Like I said, most of my viewers are not like that. In fact, most of the comments I get are positive. Are encouraging, you know. Oh, and I want to be real clear, like I delete those really aggressively negative comments. YouTube catches most of them before they go up and like auto blocks them or whatever. But the ones that don't get auto blocked, I block. I don't want that on my channel. So, and I wanted to explain that if you had a comment blocked, it may not be because you were like one of these people. It may just be that YouTube auto blocked it by accident, and then it doesn't tell me that it blocked it, so I have to manually go in and find them in order to show them up. So if you have a comment that's like deleted, I don't want you to think I'm deleting all my comments. Most of the time it's just YouTube blocks things. Like I get comments all the time, it shows up in my feed, it'll say such and such said, hey, how did you make that crowbar so quick? And I go to respond, and when I go to reply, it takes me to the page, and then YouTube's like, there's no comments here. It's like, well, but you just notified me that there's a comment, so obviously there's a comment. But I've been blocking and removing the really, really negative ones that are not in any way like beneficial to the channel. You know, if you're like negative, but you also offer suggestions or whatever, I would let that slide. But like some of this is like, it's not that. It's like people who want to scream in your face and tell you to kill yourself kind of people. So I don't want anything to do with those people. So I've been deleting those things. Didn't expect so many books in the pharmacy here. Gonna take pretty much all of them. Yeah, weird stuff too. Like not all of this is stuff I would have expected to be. It's fine. We're taking all the meat jerky, and we should take the pork sticks as well, just because they're meat products that have a long shelf life and give lots of calories. Ignore. And I just wanted to have a conversation about entitlement. So like, for example, yesterday I put up, yesterday at the time of this recording, I put up, let's eat these cracklins, because there's so many calories in them. They're not good for your health, but I put up my last RimWorld video yesterday. And in that video, I explained like, hey, screwdriver set's great. Hey, you know, I've been playing RimWorld. I'm kind of... miscellaneous repair kit. Is that what I need? It is. Oh, that's so good. Why is that in a pharmacy, though? Really good. So we're definitely going to keep this. It uses duct tape as ammunition, and it can be used to repair wooden weapons. So that's real good. I mean, we're at the stage of the game where we're going to be moving up to metal weapons soon anyway, but like, it would have been nice a week ago, but it's still really neat to find that when we were looking and complaining about that for so long. Anyway, put up the last RimWorld video, and I explained like, hey, you know, I'm not really having fun playing RimWorld anymore. Kind of think I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to stop playing. We'll probably revisit it in the future, but not this playthrough. I've done what I wanted to do. You know, I built the colony from the ground up. We got lots and lots of colonists. We have all the buildings and all the production things we need. We've been doing great. I've created a bionic, you know, colonist, and like I'm super kind of over it. Like we've done everything I kind of wanted to do. And what I expected were people to be like, oh, you know, it's a bummer. I really like this series, you know, but okay, you know, thanks for giving us the heads up that you were going to cancel the series. Because previously I've had series where like I just curse a bunch and then never play the game again because it pissed me off. So I was like, no, you know, the RimWorld series was fun. I really want to let people know that like this is a good game. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already. I'll probably come back to it in the future because it is a good game. And what I got was a lot of comments like, don't you feel like you owe it to your viewership to keep playing? And like, oh, if I had known that you were going to just cancel the series, I wouldn't have watched the series. And like, just a lot of negative stuff. And I think it's okay to be bothered by that. Like, I watch YouTubers, and they cancel. No, I'm trying to unload from one into the other. Can't unload from one into the other. Gotta drop one. This is real dumb that I have to do it this way. Unload the one in my the one in my inventory. Which one? Yes, the one in my inventory. Unload that into the one on the floor. Drop the gallon jug. Pick up the ammonia that's full. Okay. Like, I get upset when YouTubers stop playing a game and I liked it, but most of them don't even give you an explanation. They just cancel the series. And so I was like, oh, I'm doing better than that. But then when I actually did it, I got a lot of, like, super negative comments. of like, you're a bad YouTuber, I hate your face. Like, and I want to be real clear that, number one, I do YouTube as a hobby because I enjoy making content, and I'm glad that you enjoy watching my content, and I would like you to watch more of my content. But at the end of the day, I'm not being paid. I'm doing this for fun. And when something stops being fun, like RimWorld did, it just got a little boring and I didn't really know what to do anymore, didn't want to play anymore. When that happens, I have every right to walk away. I don't owe you anything. I am making free content for you to watch. I don't owe you anything at all. And you don't get to make demands of me. Like, if I choose to cancel something, you can say, like, hey, I really wish you would continue. Or, hey, we really like this series. Please don't cancel it. That's fine. But you don't get to demand me to do things. Which, again, I want to really stress, I don't think most of you think like this. But some of you do. And I'm not okay with it. So even if I had like a Patreon, even if I had ads running and I was earning money from it, you're not my boss. I don't owe you anything. The amount of compensation that I would get for the amount of work that goes into it, you're not my boss. You don't get to make that decision. I make those decisions. So I just really wanted to put that out there. I think it's an entitlement thing. I think you're like, well, screw it. He should do what I say. And that's not how it works. And not only that, but like, for example, the RimWorld series, I can see all the numbers. So like, I had like 8 negative comments. It got a couple of dislikes on that last video. And it's like, I look back at the channel and I can see that maybe one person watched every episode. And I don't even think they watched every episode. I think that, like, if I look through the entire list, there are probably 2 or 3 videos that have like 12 minutes of watch time. And it's like, so these people felt so entitled to my time and what I get to do with myself that they actually came. They didn't watch the content from the beginning. They only watched handfuls of it. And then they had the audacity to basically tell me to kill myself because I don't want to continue recording. You didn't even support me when I was doing it. If you want me to continue playing games, you need to watch the games, right? If you like Cataclysm and you want to support me and encourage me to continue playing Cataclysm, the best way to do that is to watch the videos and give me a thumbs up and like and comment and subscribe, because I can also see, who subscribes on what video. So like if you subscribe on Cataclysm, it's like, okay, well, that's something that is obviously drawing in more viewers, etc. Nobody did that with RimWorld. I had very few watch time, views, subscribers from RimWorld. And so I don't really get why people were quite so upset. I had fun with the series, but it was time to move on. And I just, it genuinely upset me. It's just because the negative comments have been stacking up a lot lately, and I'm really starting to notice people don't seem to like me very much, and it's hurtful, honestly. And I know it's the internet, and I know I shouldn't care, but like, my self-esteem is very much tied to what other people think of me. It's always been that way. It's hard for me to, stupid drop bug. It's hard for me to derive self-esteem from within myself. It almost always comes from external sources. So like, when I see a bunch of negative comments, it does make me feel bad about myself. I was just on the Discord the other day, and I had somebody just actively, like, I felt attacked, honestly, where they were just being so aggressive about not liking this thing I had worked on. And, like, it made me feel, like, I remember that night I went to bed, and I was laying in bed, and I was like, that dude really hates me and hates what I was, what I made. And it's like, it really negatively affected me. And I know they're just trolls on the internet. Like, internet, I don't think that that's the majority of you, but like, just because some random asshole was giving me a bunch of grief, it really affected me. And I feel pathetic that it has such a big impact on me, but it does. So that's my speech. We should really wrap up the episode. I just wanted to say, like, just because I create something for you, it does not mean that you're entitled to tell me what to do or what I should be doing with my time. This week I sank probably like 45 hours of my week into YouTube recording a full Dead Space series, which is a nightmare to edit, and we could talk about that. But doing Cataclysm, I've been recording Slay the Spire and Binding of Isaac, and it's like I put a lot of time into this. There's stuff that I manage and decide what to do with my time. That's a decision I make as the creator. That's not something that is your decision. You can make suggestions. I'm all for suggestions. Someone suggested the other day that I check out, I think it's called Done Greed, which I'd never heard of. And I was like, all right, well, they suggested it. I might as well at least look at it on Steam and see if it's worth it. So, like, I'm fine with suggestions, but please don't tell me what to do. Because you're just some rando on the internet. I don't owe you anything. And so that's my speech. And again, I know it doesn't apply to 99% of you, but really wanted to put it out there. And in fact, I'll probably get a bunch of negatives comments on this video or dislikes on the video, but whatever. Anyway, that's going to do it. Let's wrap this up. Politics and then chastising is how this video went. Not really what I intended, but okay. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Of course, we'll be back with more of the Fire series in the near future. But for now, that's going to do it. So I'll see you next time.